71% of our planet is a realm of absolute darkness and crushing pressure. For centuries, we have treated the idea of sunken cities like Atlantis as a myth, a cautionary tale of human hubris swallowed by the gods. But the physical reality of the seafloor tells a different story. If you descend through the murky green water off the coast of Egypt, your lights eventually catch a 15-foot-tall face carved from red granite, staring blindly into the void. This is Thonis-Heracleion. For 2 millennia, this legendary port was a ghost, existing only in ancient texts. It was the gateway to Egypt until the ground liquefied. An earthquake and tsunami dragged the temples, statues, and ships straight to the bottom. Across the Mediterranean, off the coast of Italy, lies Baiae. 2,000 years ago, this was the playground of the Roman Empire, filled with thermal baths and villas for the ultra-rich. The city was built inside the crater of a massive volcano. Over the centuries, as magma chambers deep underground shifted, the land slowly and steadily sank beneath the waves. Today, if you dive into the Gulf of Pozzuoli, you swim over perfectly intact marble floors and pleasure grottos that have been reclaimed by the ocean. These ruins are haunting reminders that nature always has the final say. But these cities are only 2,000 years old and sit in relatively shallow reaches. If the ocean so easily erased the height of Roman and Egyptian power, it raises the question of what older civilizations might be sitting in the deeper, inaccessible reaches of the Atlantic. Off the western coast of India, the Gulf of Combat is defined by treacherous currents and powerful riptides. In 2000, sonar revealed a massive urban grid 120 feet below the surface, stretching 5 miles long and 2 miles wide. Researchers recovered pottery, beads, and human remains carbon-dated to 9,500 years old, 5 millennia before the first cities of Mesopotamia. This dating suggests a civilization that rose and fell 5 millennia before our established records begin. It mirrors the nearby ruins of Dwarka, where researchers found perfectly cut stone blocks and submerged foundations that match ancient scriptures of a kingdom swallowed by the sea. These anomalies suggest that the timeline of human civilization may be much longer than previously thought. But as we go deeper, we find a city that challenges our understanding of life itself. Plunging 2,300 feet beneath the surface of the mid-Atlantic ridge, the temperature drops to freezing and the sunlight disappears completely. Headlights from a remote submarine eventually illuminate a jagged white landscape. Towering limestone spires rise out of the dark, some reaching the height of a 20-story building. This is the Lost City hydrothermal field. It is a geological fortress and has been venting warm, shimmering fluids into the ocean for over 120,000 years. Unlike the violent, magma-powered black smokers found elsewhere in the deep, the Lost City is powered by a much quieter chemical reaction called serpentinization. Serpentinization occurs when seawater reacts with the upthrusting mantle rock of the Earth, producing massive amounts of hydrogen and methane. This creates a highly alkaline fluid that escapes through the towering chimneys. In this toxic, sunless environment, life is thriving. Snails and crustaceans and thick strands of bacteria cling to the white towers, feeding not on sunlight, but on the chemical energy produced by the Earth itself. The existence of this ecosystem proves that biology does not require the sun to survive. It relies only on the dark, silent chemistry of the seafloor. Scientists believe the microscopic, interconnected compartments within these limestone chimneys could have acted as the perfect incubators for the very first living cells billions of years ago. If life can be sparked by water reacting with rock in total darkness, then the search for life beyond Earth expands significantly. This is Europa, orbiting Jupiter. Beneath its thick outer shell of ice lies a vast, dark, saltwater ocean. And this is Enceladus, a moon of Saturn that actively sprays water vapor from its southern pole. If a submarine were dropped beneath the ice of Enceladus today, it might find an ecosystem powered by the same chemistry we see in the Lost City. We went searching the oceans for the ghosts of our ancestors, Instead, we found that the deep sea floor might be the very place where the chemical building blocks of life first came together. But as we are just beginning to understand these depths, they are coming under threat from industrial mining. Contracts have already been awarded to explore the mid-Atlantic ridge for heavy metals. Deep-sea industrial vessels, equipped with massive drilling rigs, are now capable of reaching these abyssal environments to harvest resources. These operations create massive plumes of sediment and toxic discharge. If these clouds wash over the lost city, they could suffocate a delicate landscape that has remained stable for over 100 millennia. A single industrial event could erase an ecosystem that scientists are currently using to model the origins of life on Earth. The ocean is a master of preservation, holding everything from the stone walls of forgotten human empires to the chemical vents where our biology may have begun. As we develop the technology to reach these archives, we must decide if we will study them or allow industrial plumes to bury them forever.